All right, this is the copyright disclaimer. The copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Fair use, fair use, fair use.
He said, God, from the time I was a child, I was born with, I was given payas, I was taught to Shema, and I was taught to believe in you as God. Now, for the past 2 years in the ghetto, you have done everything in your power to prove to me that you do not exist, to make me into an atheist, or that even if you don't exist, that you're cruel, that you're wicked, that you're unloving, that you're vengeful. But I want you to know that I will die the way I was born, a believing Jew. That there is no power in the universe, including you, God, creator of heaven and earth, he who fills the infinite expanse of space. I, as a Jew, am stronger than you. My name is Israel, he who wrestles with God and is victorious. I will die with my faith intact. There is nothing you can do. No Hitlers, no Gestapo, no SS that can be sent against me that will ever...
And no Hamas.
And no Hamas. That will ever cause me to question my faith in you.
Rabbi SCHMULEY is a Zionist fucking pig.
Get this.
Here he is, right on camera. Hi, everybody. I have no problem saying it. Rabbi SCHMULEY.
Say your name.
I'm Salvo, baby. I have no problem saying
What's your
it.
phone number? Say it
Why
all.
would I give a
Say it all.
Zionist?
Say it all. Say it all. Say it all.
Zionist pig, relax. Why would I give a
Excuse me.
Zionist? Why would I give?
Excuse me. Officer, this man is attacking me.
I have it on video.
Right now.
I have it on video.
I have it on video.
I have it on video.
He's a Jew. It's a hate crime. He's threatening me.
I called him a
This second,
Zionist. I didn't
he
touch him.
came over to
I didn't
me
break
and I
any
filmed
law.
the
I have
whole
it.
thing.
I have it
I'm
on
very
video. I have it on
well-known
video. I
rabbi.
just talked to him.
He
I
is
didn't touch
threatening
him.
my life.
No, I
and
didn't.
He has to be arrested, please.
I have it on video.
Please,
No, I didn't.
he has to be arrested.
They know who you are, bro.
Please, sir, he has to be arrested.
Rabbi
Let me
SCHMULEY,
get the whole thing.
what
Get the
happened
whole
to
thing.
dialogue?
Let's see if the
What happened to
NYPD
dialogue,
takes
Rabbi
this hate
SCHMULEY?
crime
Is this your
seriously.
husband? You let him in the street acting such a fool every time, huh?
Debbie, bring it here. This is what happened to me at the Fountain Blue Hotel. I won't put up with it.
Rabbi
This
SCHMULEY,
man
why are
is
you
threatening
lying?
me. He is harassing
Rabbi
me.
SCHMULEY,
He's
why are
guilty
you
of a
lying?
hate crime, and now let's see if the NYPD.
Rabbi SCHMULEY, I have it on video right here.
I was doing a video about this is about anti-Semitism.
I'm doing
This
a video
We're in
too.
the middle of an intermission. This man came over,
I was at the play
attacked
too.
me, harassed me. He already called us fucking Jews upstairs. I have a woman who
No, I
witnessed
didn't.
it.
No, I
You
didn't.
called
I'm
us
with my-
fucking Jews.
I'm
as
with
we
my
left,
wife over there.
and he just attacked me.
I
My name
have
is
it on
Rabbi
video.
SCHMULEY Boteches. He will tell you.
They know who you
Very
are,
well
Rabbi
known.
SCHMULEY. They know who you are, Rabbi SCHMULEY. You're
He
making a
attacked me, and this is a hate crime.
you're making a scene, Rabbi
He
SCHMULEY.
attacked me, and this is a hate crime. Now, why did you walk over to me? Tell him. Why did you walk over to me? What did you say? Why did you
Yes,
walk
sir.
over to me? What did you say?
I said you're a Zionist.
No, you said I'm an effing Zionist. You started attacking.
I'm allowed to
You
swear at
threatened my
you.
safety. You
No,
you
I
are
didn't.
threatening my safety.
No, I didn't.
You invaded my personal space to harm me.
I'm allowed to say that. I'm allowed to say he's a Zionist pig. I'm allowed to say he's a Zionist pig.
Know my identity, but I want him to.
Why do you escalate, Rabbi SCHMULEY? Why do you escalate? Why do you escalate, Rabbi SCHMULEY?
Officer, Jews have to be safe in New York City.
Sir,
You
I
to
have
be
freedom of
allowed
speech.
to be
Sir,
safe.
sir.
Jews cannot be attacked because they weren't here. If someone's black.
This is the book of Job, chapter 20, verses 4 through 9. Verse 4, and it reads, Knowest thou not this of old, since man was placed upon earth, that the triumphing of the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite but a moment? Though his excellency mount up to the heavens, and his head reach unto the clouds, yet he perish forever like his own dung. They which have seen him shall say, Where is he? He shall fly away as a dream, and shall not be found. Yea, he shall be chased away as a vision of the night. The eye which also saw him shall see him no more, neither shall his place any more behold him. Giving all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Raha Kakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well in teaching me this 100% truth. Salutations to them and my fellow Akim who labor in this truth week in and week out on the highways and byways. Also, salutations to the hopeful elect of the scattered 12 tribes of Israel, scattered to the four corners of the earth, that be like unto the speckled bird, also known as your Israelite foreigners, and your so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. To you, I say Shalom. This is your brother Ayashar Barazar from Indianapolis branch of the Great Millstone, coming back at you with another lesson that is edifying to the elect body of the nation of Israel. All right, you just saw those two videos of that piece of shit, Rabbi SCHMULEY, who, I'm going to title this video, SCHMULEY the SCHMUCK, the face of AMALEK, all right, who we know to be the 1948ers, the small hatters, so on and so forth, the imposters, okay? That's exactly who they are. This truth is out about them, all right? And it's the whole world knows who they are not, and starting to realize who are the true people. But that's a little hard, for the rest of the world to get. All this time, they've been despising the true people of the nation of Israel. All right, but this video's title: SCHMULEY the SCHMUCK, the face of AMALEK. All right, and before I get back to these scriptures, let's go into this word SCHMUCK. Okay, this is from the Merriam-Webster's online dictionary. It says stupid, foolish, or unlikable person. All right. Doesn't Obadiah 1 says he is made small amongst the heathen. He is greatly despised. Okay. This is talking about Esau, Edom, and the head of that, the nation of Edom is Amalek. Okay. Esau, Edom being the so-called white man. All right. The wicked, according to Malachi 1 and 4. All right. Stupid, foolish, or unlikable person. Okay, he's greatly despised. All right, according to Obadiah 1 and 1. All right, he says he's foolish. So many ways in that video. He said that Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai does not exist. All right, so I'm going to come back to this word. Let me get some precepts on that before I go back to Job. This is Psalms 53 and 1. It says, to the chief musician upon Mahalath Mashkil, a psalm of David, the fool hath said in his heart, there is no God. Corrupt are they, and have done abominable iniquity. There is none that doeth good. That's talking about this devil all damn day. All right. He said in his own video, that Yahweh Bashim Yahushai does not exist, and called him corrupt. You're going to pay for that, dude. Painfully, very painfully. The Lord's going to make you pay for that. All right. And he is corrupt. He said in that first video, he follows the Babylonian Talmud. I got a whole list of stuff. That thing is that's a terrible book. All right. Has nothing to do with Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Absolutely nothing. All right. He's a defiled human being. All right. And like the scripture says here, there is none good, not one. There's no good Edomite, period. The scriptures tell us, they may appear nice, but eventually they're going to show those horns. Those people are the wicked, and the head of them being Amalek. Okay. The nation of people that SCHMULEY, the SCHMUCK represents. All right. Let's get back to that. Oh, I said a person what did that say? A person that's unlikable. And that was Obadiah 1 and 1. I'm sorry, Slaki, I'm glad I went to it. Verse 2. It says, just so you get in context, the vision of Obadiah, thus saith Yahweh our power concerning Edom. That's the entire nation. Okay. And the head of that nation is Amalek. He's the first of the nations, or the chief nations, according to Numbers 24 and 20. It says, we have heard a rumor from Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, and an ambassador is sent among the heathen. Arise ye, and let us rise up against her in battle. And through a secular history and prophecy, that ambassador was the second Egyptian president, 1952, of Egypt, Gamal Abdel Nasser. Okay, he's the one who said there will never be peace in Israel because the Jews left here black and they came back white. All right, look that up. And here's the point, verse 2. Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen, thou art greatly despised, unlikable. And the world is seeing that. You can't hide anymore. The entire world hates you, and you trying to fall back on that claim, anti-Sem. It don't work, man. It does not work. First of all, there are a bunch of Shemitic families. Okay, that term anti-Semitic was coined by German agitator Wilhelm Marr in 1879. Okay, 1879. And it clearly tells you when it looks it up, is based off of Shem, one of the sons of Noah. Okay, Shem had 5 sons. Out of those 5 sons came a plethora of Shemitic families, which does include you. But just like you gather, heap all things to yourself and make it your own. That's exactly what you did with that family line. Shem. Everybody else isn't. You know, Shem had 5 sons. All of the families that came out of those 5 sons are Shemitic people as well. You are the Shemitic Hebrew Edomite. Point blank, period. Not going to take that away from me, but you can't take that from everyone else, which is what you did. This is the book of Micah, chapter 2, verse 1. It says, woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of the hand. Job 9:24 says, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. Who's in control of everything right now? That's been made clear. Right now, this is the United States of Israel. They have total control of the U.S. government. Okay? APAC has compromised everyone. And then you got Trump. You got to know that they have something on him with those Epstein files. It's been proven that Epstein was a Mossad agent. Okay? The whole Congress is compromised. Point blank, period. All right? Verse 2. It says, and they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage. And that house is twofold. It's your physical property, and it's also your bloodline lineage. Okay? Numbers 1 and 18. You are determined by the house of your fathers. And that's what they did. They took the term Shem and made it exclusive to themselves. All right. And that just doesn't happen. You cannot cancel out a bloodline, damn it. Just can't do that. All right. Back to that word SCHMUCK. Um, yeah, they are stupid for thinking that everybody else is stupid. Then it has a jerk, since 1B. Let's see. 1B. It says an unlikable person, especially one who is cruel, rude, small-minded. Okay? Are they not cruel right now? You can go right online and see they actually have T-shirts where they're shooting pregnant Palestinian women. Says 1 shot, 2 kills. All right, that's exactly what it says. And of course, rude, small-minded. You know, the Most High is not at all in their thoughts, according to Psalms 10. That's going to change real quick, and it's starting to happen. All right, let's get back to that word. All right. Let's see. Got some synonyms down here. Oh yeah. bastard, you know, the bastard of Ashdod. Okay, who inhabits Ashdod to this day? Amalek. It's right along, right in Israel. Okay, once we were, out of the land, yeah, Ashdod to this very day is along the coast of Israel, the west coast of Israel. All right, it says beasts. Well, their control of the beasts. That's talked about in Revelations. It says bleeder, blighter, boar, bounder, bugger, buzzard. you know, the scriptures, call them the eagle, but yeah, you're a defiled bird. You know, chuff, churl. Oh yeah, Isaiah 32:5 calls them a vile and a churl man. Clown, creep, cretin, crud, crumb, cur. All these names. I'm not gonna look all of these up. Dirtbag, dog. Yep. What did Yahweh say about the scripture say about the Romans? The dogs can pass me. All right. Worst of the heathens. Think, heel, hound, jerk, joker, louse, lout, pill, rat. Who's what's the nickname for them? The gutter rats. All right. Rat, think, reptile, serpent. Okay. Rotter, scum, scuzzball, skunk, sleaze, sleazebag, sleazeball, slime, slop, snake, serpent again. So and so, sod, stinkard, stink, swine. Oh man, yeah, huge on that swine. You know, they call it kosher, and no such thing as kosher. All right, toad, varmint, vermin. All right, so yeah, that's the and then it goes down here. Says a Yiddish, SCHMUCK, literally means a penis, and we know how they circumcise little boys, and we know how they talk too. Chad, you're a real dick, Chad. You're a real dick. you know, yeah. Schmuck fits, and like I said, Shmuley the Schmuck, the face of Amalek. This is you all day long. All right. Let's get back to that Job. Job 20:4. It says, knowest thou not this of old, since man was placed upon earth, that the triumphing of the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite but a moment. Oh yeah, and his rulership is almost over. Okay, he is the wicked, according to Malachi 1:4. All right, it's short. I mean, it seems like a long time to us, but it's coming to an end. All right, and the joy of a hypocrite is but for a moment. Yeah, once again, it seemed long to us, but it was a small moment. Hypocrite, going back into the deep meaning, it means an actor. You know, you are an actor. You have been pretending to be the true people of the nation of Israel, but you're far from it. Okay? Verse 6 says, though his excellency mount up to the heavens and his head reach unto the clouds, okay? That's being proud, okay? As a person, exalting himself. And he did that literally, going into the in space, or, trying to, you know. It says, yet he shall perish forever like his own dung. They which have seen him shall say, where is he? Yes, the Lord is going to eliminate you by the hand of his people. All right. You will exist no more. So live it up while you can. And we know you are. We know you're going to come down with great wrath. That's why you're putting all this legislation in place to come for the elect. But when you do, as Isaiah 59 says, the Lord is going to lift up that standard. All right. You're going to have spiritual power on this side. How else, are the elect going to be able to combat those robots and all these other machines that you got, you know, and you know it's coming. You know it's coming. It says, he shall fly away as a dream and shall not be found. Yea, he shall be chased away as a vision of the night. It says in verse 9, the eye also which saw him shall see him no more, neither shall his place any more behold him. That's because you're going to be put away forever out of the earth. All right, let's get that. Obadiah 18. And it reads, and the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame. Okay, that's southern kingdom and northern kingdom respectively. And the house of Esau for stubble, and they shall kindle in them and devour them, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau. For Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai have spoken it. Let me get that in the NLT. Obadiah 18. All right. It says, the people of Israel will be a raging fire, and Edom a field of dry stubble. The descendants of Joseph will be a flame roaring across the field, devouring everything. There will be no survivors in Edom. I, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, have spoken. So yeah, you know, live it up, schmuck. You know, say all that proud stuff that you've been saying, especially in the day of the Lord. You know it's coming. We know it's coming. But just being patient. All right. Because right now you're doing the same thing you did. You know, we know you're going to come after us, just like you did in Egypt, but you running into a different type of man, you know, this time. You know, you trying to trick the world and believe, and you went through that nonsense in World War II. You know, never forget, never forget. No, that wasn't it. That wasn't it. He told us not to forget about what you did. This is book of Deuteronomy, chapter 25, beginning verse 17. It says, remember what Amalek did unto thee by the way, when ye were come forth out of Egypt, how he met thee by the way, and smote the hindmost of thee, even all that were feeble behind thee, when thou wast faint and weary, and he feared not Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. And that's your MO, Amalek, just like you're doing today. You're always preying on people that they can't defend themselves. And that's Esau as a whole. You know, we do these videos for thy violence against thy brother Jacob. It take a thousand people, a mob with weapons to subdue one man. Straight fucking cowards. And you showed that you were a coward in that second video. And you lied. Ran to the cops. I thought you were stronger than the Most High in the first video. No, you showed what type of straight up pussy that you were in that second video. Arrest him, you little bitch. You know? Man, I swear, boy, it is, you know, we're hastening the day, you know, for your downfall, you know, just itching for the moment when the Lord raises that standard, you know, because you were real proud, man. You were real proud, especially all that stuff you said against Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai in that first video. But once again, you came back and proved the coward that you are. When a guy just said something to you, you run and get the police, you little bitch. All right. Says verse 19. Therefore it shall be, when Yahweh thy power hath given thee rest from all thine enemies round about in the land which the Lord thy power giveth thee for an inheritance, to possess it, that thou shalt blot out the remembrance of Amalek from under heaven. Thou shalt not forget it. We were told not to forget. But notice this right here at the beginning. It says, therefore it shall be when Yahweh thy power have given thee rest from all thine enemies around about in the land which the Lord giveth thee for an inheritance to possess it. You in the land right now, but everybody around you is itching to fuck you up. All of them. You don't have the entire land right now. You have the headquarters of the nation of Israel as described in Joshua chapters 13 through chapter 22, but you don't have the whole land. The whole land is from the great river of Egypt, which is the Nile, all the way over to the Euphrates. And you don't have that right now. And the people occupying those lands are ready to destroy you. Let's go to that. Let me pull that map up. It's one of my favorite maps. Here we go. Yeah, here we go. So right here, all the red dots where this dot is going around, Israel, Lebanon, okay. That's the headquarters right here. But right here, beginning at Cairo, that's the Nile, the great river of Egypt, coming all the way down, all right? Then I'm gonna scroll over. You got Jordan, Lebanon. You bombing southern Lebanon right now because you don't have all the land, all right? You got Syria, right above Syria, Turkey, Iraq, Saudi Arabia, Yemen, okay? Kuwait, and right over here, Tehran, which is the capital of Iran. All right. Here you got the Persian Gulf. All right. Right about where straight, you got the two rivers, the Euphrates right here, and then the Tigris over here coming down and feeding into the Persian Gulf. Okay. So, yeah, you don't have all the land. It just goes to prove you're not who you say you are, punk bitch. All right. This is Numbers 24 and 20. It says, and when he looked upon Amalek, he took up his parable, okay, and said, Amalek was the first of the nations. That's the chief nation, okay, the head nation. Right now, you're over everybody, okay. Even the president of the United States, you're over everybody, okay. Amalek was the first of the nations, but his latter end shall be that he perish forever. And who's that going to be done by? Okay, the Israelites. This is Ezekiel 25. And begin in verse 12. It says, thus saith Yahweh our power, because that Edom have dealt against the house of Judah by taking vengeance and have greatly offended and revenged himself upon them. That's the southern kingdom. You know how you did that? Via the transatlantic slave trade and chattel slavery. Okay. You not only finance the transatlantic slave trade, you own the ships and the insurance companies. All right. It says, therefore, thus saith Yahweh our power, I will stretch out mine hand upon Edom and will cut off man and beast from it. And I will make it desolate from Teman and they of Dedan, and shall fall by the sword. And I will lay my vengeance upon Edom by the hand of my people, Israel. See, this is when he says Israel, you know, in this, the southern and northern kingdom have come back together as one nation. And at that time, we have that spiritual power. We have the law, statutes, and commandments on our inward parts and have those bodies, those glorified bodies of immortality. Okay. It says, and they shall do in Edom according to mine anger and according to my fury, and they shall know my vengeance, saith Yahweh our power. Yeah, how you gonna know? You know, back in the day, who was that? Rahab said, "We know the power of your God." It's like Lord Almighty. El Shaddai, demon-like terrible power. Okay, that's what's gonna hit you in that dreadful day, Shmuley, and those who you represent. That's what's gonna hit you. Thus saith the Lord. Okay, prophecy's going. Has proven that. You are the biggest blood shedders of our people, of true Israel. Okay, there's only one way that's going to be remedied. You get that. This is of the book of Numbers, chapter 35 and verse 33, and it reads: "So ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are, for blood it hath defiled the land, and the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it." You shed a lot of our blood. You shed a lot of our blood. You and with the help of the rest of your nation. Okay. Yeah. From the transatlantic slave trade to the police now. You train them. All of the three-letter agencies belong to you: CIA, FBI, FDA, ADL. All of that shit belongs to you. So you are responsible. And as the saying goes, once the head goes, the rest of the body goes. When Amalek goes, all of Edom goes. All right. So yeah, it says once again, so ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are, for blood it defileth the land, and the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it. Yeah, your blood must be shed. And who's going to do that? Book of Joel, chapter 3, beginning verse 19. It says, Egypt shall be a desolation. Egypt meaning the house of bondage. Okay. America, spiritual Sodom and Egypt. Okay. Right now, also called Babylon. All right. As in Jeremiah 15:33, Judah and Israel are oppressed together in Babylon. Okay. And we know it's America because only the southern kingdom, Judah, was in the ancient Babylonian captivity, while the northern kingdom was in the Assyrian captivity. All right. It said, Egypt should be a desolation, and Edom shall be a desolate wilderness for the violence against the children of Judah, southern kingdom, because they have shed innocent blood in their land. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Edom shed our blood. Said the land can't be cleansed unless it sheds the blood of those who shed the blood. Okay. It says, but Judah, the southern kingdom, shall dwell forever, and Jerusalem, the northern kingdom, from generation to generation. What's that talking about? Dwelling forever, from generation to generation? That's immortality. That means we're in those glorified bodies and we have the law, statutes, and commandments on our inward parts, the second covenant. Okay? He says, for I will cleanse their blood that I have not cleansed, for Yahweh Bashem Yahushai dwelleth in Zion. And how will he cleanse the blood? I just read it in Numbers 35 and 33. Your blood has to be shed. And boy, is it going to be, according to the scriptures. All right? We'll close out with this one. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 13, Begin in verse 9. And it reads, if any man have an ear, let him hear. If any man have understanding, let him understand. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. Who led us into captivity? Esau, Edom. Okay. Going back to the Greeks and the Romans, then when the Roman Empire went down, Jake ruled in what was called the Dark Ages, and then they came back during the Renaissance period. All right. Christopher Columbus, all right, led us into captivity again to this very day. All right. It says, he that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Whose blessing was the sword? Esau, Edom. Genesis chapter 27, verses 38 through 41. All right. It says, and here is the patience and the faith of the saints. Yeah, we're waiting on that day, and we know it's close. Prophecies are here. We know it's real close. All right. Salvation is upon us. All right. So, hey, it is what it is. Like I said, here you have SCHMULEY the SCHMUCK, the face of Amalek. Yep. Time's running out on y'all. So with that, I hope this lesson was edifying to the elect body of the nation of Israel. Once again, I'm going to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Bahashem, Raha HaKakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well in teaching me this 100% truth. Salutations to them and my fellow Akim who labor in this truth week in and week out on the highways and byways. Also, salutations to the hopeful elect of the scattered 12 tribes of Israel, scattered to the four corners of the earth, that be likened to the speckled bird, also known as your Israelite foreigners, and your so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. To you, I say Shalom, Kwame Yasharala, Abba Abba. Shalom, we got next.